Hello, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Nightfall in Amsterdam. This evening, we have a few of our wolves meeting up to discuss some miscellaneous happenings and going around the camp and whatever other rumors may be going down. We're going to say that Air is kind of chilling in her usual spot at the camp, in a spot off in the trees, not in the direct camp vicinity, with a little fire in her stump. And Hef would recognize the partially drank bottle of Jameson chilling at the fire from their last conversation.
Are we going to say that Veronica still has the child or no?
Yes,
Okay.
for simplicity's sake.
Okay.
She's just kind of kicked back and miscellaneously tossing pieces of wood and kindling into the fire, keeping it going, opening or drinking the Jameson from the bottle, little sip at a time.
Heffel approach. He'll have his cane and he has his limp that he's doing, so it's not a very fast approach. But on his other hand, he has a picnic basket.
Oh boy!
And he heads over and finds a comfy place to sit and squats down.
There's a couple of stumps and a fallen log that work for seating.
That works.
And you look at the fire pit and you can tell it's been used several times, like a lot actually.
Oh, Hef smiles. He's like, man, I miss this. It's been a long time since it's been weird since I come here. Not as much outdoor time as I'm used to. He takes a deep breath.
Well, this was it used to be Sept, actually, the one that my home Sept. I was born here.
I see.
So I know these grounds pretty dang well.
Do you know who's all going to make it to this? Who are you?
I'm not entirely sure. I know we should be expecting Miss Veronica.
I like Veronica. I brought stuff just in case she was here.
Is that what's
I brought you stuff too.
Basket?
Yeah, I got stuff for everybody, but I brought special stuff for her because she's a prego. So he opens the picnic basket and pulls out a fork and a piece of Tupperware, and he hands you some cream cheese pie with strawberries on it.
Ooh, that looks delightful.
That's I didn't know you
could. I didn't know you could bake.
I can do everything now. I work hard.
Veronica does eventually show up, looking tired.
Oh, anytime now, sweetie. Sit down, take a load off.
I brought you stuff, Veronica. And he reaches into the picnic basket and pulls out more Tupperware. And this one is like, this one, puts his fork on it, is spaghetti and meatballs. And this is garlic bread. And then I have dessert in here, too.
She takes the spaghetti and meatballs, put it between the garlic bread, and eat it like a sandwich.
Nice.
Because out-of-game pregnant people sometimes eat the darndest things.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Well, we've got some interesting things going on here, don't we?
Yeah, it seemed like, from what I've heard, an influx of your tribe and stuff.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I suppose we'll find out more about that soon, but all things considered, I hope they aren't super buddies here with the new guy.
Strikes the dragon.
Yes, strikes the dragon.
We need to learn
I
more
haven't
about
met him.
I know when he announced himself when we first got into this camp that he mentioned he was a part of Mjolnir's Thunder.
Mjolnir's Thunder. Isn't that Thor's hammer?
Well, Mjolnir is
Yeah,
indeed Thor's hammer,
It's Mew Mew.
but this camp is notorious for being a little batshit crazy in a violent way, for lack of better
That was
wording.
not what I was expecting the response. Like,
Veronica's
that
eyebrows furrow. Hold on. So what have you told me with your pantheon of gods that your people follow? Thor seems to be more of a respect, like heroic, like.
Yeah.
So now you're telling me like these kind of people are like worse than ruffians, and they associate with Thor
Yeah, pretty
with their
much.
name.
I mean,
Where do they get the name that they're Mjolnir's?
well, they like to throw down the hammer.
But they were they?
They sure seem to think they are. I guess I don't get to make that call, but I mean, you heard him challenge the Fianna Elder, the leader of the war pack.
What is the challenge, or has it not been decided?
I am not sure, but did you guys have a dream? I had a dream about a black stag being taken down.
It
By a
came to me
large
as well.
wolf.
Yes.
Very gory dream.
Yeah. Well, that could mean any number of things. Could simply mean that it's a symbolism for him losing the challenge or meeting the mother. I don't know. But this guy is kind of a crazy. I mean, he said he's basically of the impression that if you're not out constantly fighting the worm, then you're working with it.
Oh, I could already imagine an opinion of my tribe with him.
That being said, with some of that, I suggest that any relations with those outside of the nation be kept very quiet.
We need to find an accident for him, or a way for him to leave.
I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon, but my hope is that these others that have come are not a part of his camp, that they are just others of my tribe.
I have a feeling that he probably pulled not the same lies as Vidar, but convinced them of something. That's why I think we should talk to them.
Well, that's the intent. I don't want to make any assumptions. I can only, like I said, hope that they. Ugh. I have to wonder what Thorgrim thinks of them. I will have to ask him.
And then there's two Furies at our campground. I would not imagine they're happy.
No, I can't imagine they are.
Veronica looks at Hef. Nothing personal against your tribe, but they don't always get along with Air's tribe.
Oh, no, I know.
I
I don't
mean,
take it personally. That's why Aaron and I secretly hate each other.
well, I mean, that's why they came over from the original sept with me. They didn't agree with what the Magnusons and the Silver Fangs of the sept were doing. They saw more eye to eye with me on that. Which is fair. I mean, Judges the Kings was the one that gave that was with us during the rat scenario. She's all right, and so is Cleve's Truth from Tales. They're good people. And as Judges the Kings is a Philodox, hopefully some questions will get answered there.
That'd be cool.
Though I'm sure Mick Uther isn't gonna just let it fly either.
That's who I think we should also get involved, because he knows what people, if they inspire others to war, can do, and he has seen a war where some acted selfishly or misguided.
Yes, yes. And oh, how Vidar was misguided. I still can't believe he didn't stand up to those Silver Fangs. She shakes her head thinking about that.
You keep finding out more and more stuff about him, it seems.
Who, Vidar?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't always see eye to eye. He definitely had no idea about the that brothel that Abby and I had found, along with Colin. He seemed rather surprised when I was bringing it up, but all he knew was that he was dealing with a Silver Fang. Which reminds me, I should investigate into the Silver Fang. Got so much shit going on, it's ridiculous. Between the obvious duties of the sept and fighting the worm and my own family stuff.
There's a lot going on.
There is. And I can't imagine that. I mean, that's got to be real fun coming into a city and not having a clue about anything and just having it pile on.
Well, I mean, I have a question. If it's not too sensitive a subject, if this used to be the sept, is there a cairn here?
There isn't anymore. So here's a little my great so on and so forth grandfather Sigurd, this was he was utilizing this place as a camp basically, but it was initially it belonged to the Fae.
Ooh.
So it was one of their places, and him and his war party were only supposed to reside here long enough to defeat the labyrinthian waters hive, which they did, and it became the riddling waters. but he broke his oath to leave, essentially, and tried to turn the sacred space that belonged to the Fae into a sept. It was kind of a bastardization of it. Very strange and whatnot, but the former leaders, or after we all left, the Magnusons, who were enemies of my family to a degree, they figured out, they killed the Silverfang Sept Alpha, and performed some ritual to remove the heart of the sept and transfer it to a new location. It was a very strange thing to be done. In fact, it was something I'd never heard of being done. But it was brutal. The tree where the heart once stood here was incinerated during this ritual. And the plan is once we're out of here, the Fae will take this back. But the problem is the riddling waters was assumed to be cleansed, and well, I don't know what happened, but clearly it wasn't as well cleansed as they thought. And yeah, my ancestor fucked up a lot, it would seem. I kind of wonder what these new get know about the history of this place. If so, I suspect there will be many questions.
Understood. Thank you for that.
That was the very short version.
That was very informative, though, and I appreciate you taking the time to tell me.
Yeah. She just kind of shakes her head slightly and takes a sip off the bottle of Jameson and offers it to Hef.
Jameson, he'll take a drink.
And she'll start eating the dessert that she was brought.
It's nom-nommy good.
Yes.
He'll
With a
take
mouthful, she gives him a thumbs up.
he'll take the eaten the Tupperware from Veronica, and he'll take a water bottle and rinse it out and put it back away, and then he'll pull out a fork and a knife and hand her some cream cheese pie with strawberries on top.
Oh, she looks very happy seeing that.
She said, Air's like, it's good, with her mouth full.
She tried my chocolate cream pie and she liked it, so I figured I would give her a different kind this time.
Yes. Oh.
I have foreseen in the future, if we ever hang out if we do like a big gathering with all of our friends, that Ekta and I will just be in the kitchen making up the stuffs.
That would be fun.
He's going to find out what's going on here and what our vision meant, hopefully.
It's been a while since we had a nice gathering. One of less drama, but again, there's a lot going on, so
But sometimes, as much as I love Ekta and I love the people, the other friends that I've made, it is nice just to be around our own.
It is. It is.
In this setting, it's something just the nostalgia here right now is it's centering.
Oh, so you know how we've been looking at locations to make a new sept?
Yeah, we went to that place and fought those spirits. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was fun. So one of the locations, my boyfriend, he knows it well apparently. So he's drawing up a map, and him and I are gonna do a walkthrough.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. He's noticed that there are some that aren't as active in this role, and looking, it seems to be taking a while, and he's gonna.
I don't know the area, or I would try to look a little more. And I also don't know what the requirements are, like what people are, how many people we have to be supporting and stuff like that. Because like I said, I'm still new here.
Well,
But
let's
whatever I
see.
can do, please just let me know.
Let me see. I'm gonna get a good rough here. Let's see. I'm gonna guess roughly 60 people, kinfolk and Gru, maybe more.
That's a lot of people.
It is. It is. But I mean, we need to. I've been looking at places that have that the city can be accessed through still, so not too far, but still present. Places with water and whatnot.
Right.
Water's kind of key.
It is.
So if we have access to the city, we can still do our work in the city and stuff.
Nothing wrong with a bit of a commute too, though.
No, there's not. We definitely put some distance between us and other beings and keeping it secret. But
When we start trying to build the cairn aspect, if I recall that ritual correctly, it's gonna put a beacon out, right?
pretty much. So it needs to be somewhere we can defend as well.
We're gonna need to be able to scrap it.
Yep.
We got a lot of other theurges, or is it just you and I?
You, myself, I think there's a Gnar pup. There is Fenrir's Fury, who is my mentor. He is one of my tribe and an elder theurge. There is Cursed by Blood, who is of Veronica's tribe, who is also an elder theurge. I don't know if there are other theurges within the get that have come here. But I think that's it. For theurges, yeah. There was another one of your tribe. What's her name? I cannot remember her name. I don't even know if she's still in the city, to be honest with you, but she is also a theurge. I'd only met her twice, so her name escapes my memory. So we've got plenty of galliards and Aruns. There's a couple Philodox.
Alvaro's a Ragabash.
Yes, he is. There's quite a few of those too. Though again, I don't know who all has what auspices are present amongst the newcomers.
Understood.
I'm curious about what's happened with Hunts the Umbra, the Fianna Elder. It concerns me because I know that he was, before that challenge was issued, he was struggling with sitting still. Being a full moon, I completely understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how he just assumes everyone is sitting idle. This get elder.
And where did this start that he thought everyone was sitting idly?
I am not quite sure, to be honest with you. My question is, if he has time to know what everyone else is doing, what is he doing?
What auspice is he?
I believe he is a full moon. I could be wrong.
Why do I have a feeling that he's going to be not as well behaved as Eric?
I don't. I suspect he's going to be much worse than Eric in regards to aggression and taking things head on. I think he may be more reckless, but I could be wrong considering he does have rank. So
So he's an elder, so we might get lucky that he's wise.
we can only hope. Though Aruns are more inclined for battle and glory.
That is true. That is why when I looked for a question of wisdom, I came to you.
Yeah. Regarding that question of wisdom, like I said, everybody should keep their friendships
I caught that.
outside of the nation.
I caught
On
that.
the down low.
I caught that. So when I get all my tools set up and stuff here, if we're looking for this place, I guess I could start putting in work as part of my duties to it to start trying to mass produce some weaponry for people, right?
I'm sure that would be
There's
welcome.
going to be a fight. There's going to be a fight.
My mentor, Fenris Fury, he is of our moon, and he also is good at crafting fetishes. I'm not, so he might be the one if you want to try to speak to him.
When we meet with the elders here soon, I will definitely try to do that.
Yes.
Because I don't know if he's going to want me to craft fetish worthy stuff because of the time it takes to do it, or if he's going to want me to mass produce good weapons that are better than normal, and then we can hand them out to all gathered for when we try to turn it into a cairn.
Right.
Everybody's going to need to be armed.
Yes.
Bows.
Yes, they will
I'll go
be.
bows, arrows, swords. I mean, I know we have people that fight tooth and claw as well. So
Right. I'm a little bit. I don't really use guns. I've no experience with those, but
the laws
two,
here are pretty stringent.
yeah, they are. But I know my way around some melee weapons, and been learning a little bit as far as archery goes.
I will get you a bow made here as soon as I can. But I gave you that Labrys.
Yes, you did. And it's a lovely Labrys.
It's going to cleave people in two for you. You'd be
What?
like, and you're Mark Twain.
Let's just hope none of your sisters take offense to that being made for me.
If they do, they'll have to challenge you for it, and then you set the terms of the challenge, and then you beat them in the face with it. He smiles big.
She chuckles.
You just got to show that you're worthy of it, and I wouldn't have given it to you if I didn't believe you were.
I am sure that if they didn't find me worthy, they wouldn't have followed me in leaving the frozen forest in the first place.
True that. See,
What
I'm
can
not
I
the
say?
only
I
one who
start
finds you worthy.
rebellions.
You're a rebel without a, or with a, I don't know, with something. There's something there.
I definitely don't believe in abusing power.
I believe in abusing people that are in the way. Wink said air.
There's a big
Festus
difference
looks a little
there.
sad suddenly.
He looks sad.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
There's just a bad situation at one of the shelters. A husband really went at his wife, but it's taken care of now. It just reminded me of that.
When he says that, air kind of curls her lip.
Veronica just has like this dead serious look, like she's about ready to find the person. So when this problem was taken care of, does this mean the husband's not seeing her anymore, or he's not walking?
Yes.
To which one?
Yes.
Oh.
I work there for a reason.
Yes.
Sometimes they don't get. Sometimes they're unable to get the vengeances that they need to, so I will enact it for them.
So there's someone we haven't seen in a while. Keep your eyes out for him. But there is a boner that's been going at one of the women's shelter named Eva.
Oh, yes. She's the other Theurge I mentioned.
I'm only going to mention this because Air's the other person that knows this, but there's been signs that Eva was abused and she had a miscarriage. And it does bother her greatly.
Yes. I was not there when she had the breakdown, but
Willow and I were.
was it just you and Willow?
Eric later walked in on it, but it was originally the two of us were invited.
I can only imagine his sensitivity. She kind of rolls her eyes at that.
Willow handled it as good as he could as a children guy. Eric was very uncomfortable but polite.
Okay. Well,
not everyone agreed with Eric, but Eric was respectful. I do give him that.
That's good. It's good. Eric could sometimes be very not respectful, depending on the scenario. I guess I shouldn't say respectful. I should just say not respectful, but not sensitive to certain things. I was very upset with their departure. It came at a most inopportune time.
Oh, good.
They left after the Battle of the Frozen Forest. I'm not entirely sure where they went. My suspicions as to his home sept, where his family is, where my sister happens to be. But it is what it is. I hope their departure was done with good intentions, at least. Is there anything else that anybody needs to know? I mean,
Not that I'm aware of. I know. I mean, I got the gist of what's going on with the new arrivals, at least. We got this meeting with the elders coming up, right?
we do, and you still need to meet them, right?
Yeah. Well, I was going to be there regardless. We have a lot to discuss.
Right.
So.
Yes, we do. Veronica,
Yes.
how are Willow and Lucas? I haven't seen them since
They seem to be doing fine. Mostly they want to. It's that other Karen, the one with the spirits that you told me about. Lucas has mixed feelings about that area. It's
his
not that
mixed.
it's.
Okay.
He feels it's a good spot on certain things, but his concern is it's just everyone's gonna have to fight.
Everyone's going to have to fight no matter where we
Oh, I know.
go. Yes, I mean, the bear spirit that was there seemed okay with us using it if we needed to.
From what it sounded like so far out of the two we went to, that one seems like it's promising, but we still have two other sites to
Right,
look at as
and
well.
like I said, Sean and I have been we're looking into the dunes because he knows the place. So that is definitely helpful. But we are gonna, like I said, he's gonna draw me a map and we're gonna do a walkthrough. Not,
That would be very helpful.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's right on the water too, so that has its advantages.
We can go swimming.
Or bring in goods from the water.
I mean, or bringing goods from the water. I mean, swimming's not that big a deal. I mean, but it's awesome. So.
And it just sounds like it
Uh,
would be a serene place in addition to one that would be testing people too.
Do you still want me to do that, Kim? The high or low?
Out of game, yes.
Okay.
Hef is going to take both Tupperwares from you both
It's
and
low.
clean it out with the water bottle.
Okay.
Thank you. Out of game, what did you
And
get?
then
A low.
Okay.
It's a 3.
Okay.
Let me out of character. I want to go through the rumors and see if there's anything else. Um I'm still trying to. And she kind of looks at Veronica and she says, I'm still trying to figure out the Nidhogg situation. Because, that's going to be fun.
You see a sneer on Veronica's face.
I've had some suggestions and whatnot, but it seems very dangerous. One was suggested to give him the sept that we defeated, but there's not a sept there anymore. Another is to try to bind him, and she lifts up the spear again.
Mm-hmm.
Another is to find another place of power, but I cannot for the life of me think it's a good idea for the only other place to put him is corrupted. And while everyone, when they hear Nidhogg, thinks of corruption, he is far from it. He's simply a wild spirit.
I think of the camp in my tribe.
Ah, yes. The Society of Nidhogg. I've been doing some learning on that. She takes another drink off the bottle of Jameson, but this one is much longer. I don't want to go too much into it, but I've gone to some interesting places for my learning. Out of character, I'm still working on it in a blue book.
I would imagine.
But also out of character, I figure it's been long enough where I can at least briefly mention it.
So you've been learning stuff on the camp?
Yes.
None of my tribe's camps welcome men.
Of course they don't. I mean,
It's okay though.
we have a whole camp of women, but that doesn't allow men either, but that's only one camp.
It would be the one I wanted to join. I'm kidding.
But no, yes, I've been learning some stuff on the Society of Nidhogg, Veronica, and it's I'm skeptical on it, let me be honest. Let me put it this way, the individual like I said, I've gone to dark places, and it's virtually unheard of for anyone to pleasantly encounter the individual that I've encountered peacefully. I went to speak to Shadow Lord ancestors, and oh boy, did I speak to one. She kind of
Which one would that be?
half smirks. Well, I hung out with this individual in a place where things that are lost eventually go.
Lost and eventually go.
All things that are lost go here.
Lost and found?
You could
Sorry.
you could say that. But what I learned about the Society of Nidhogg is, yes, they definitely serve Nidhogg. But their purpose, they hunt in the night, devour the weak, and draw their strength from them. They basically let the weak serve them, but they try to devour the ideologies of those that are strong and push them into their ranks.
They push them through.
They essentially force them to... I'm sorry, force is not the word that I should be using. And she rolls her eyes to indicate that this was...
This is a cult.
Yeah. They, and I quote, they don't force them. They simply bring them, and she puts her hands into quotations, to their beliefs.
They're indoctrinated.
Essentially, yes. They try to change their beliefs.
Now you understand why I don't like them.
Well, I mean, they do want to bring night upon the mother here.
I've never heard of any of this.
Well, I mean, I probably would not have either, but again, the camp name was something that Vidar brought to my attention. It seems that he, along with some others of his family, studied with some of them. I mean, perhaps what they're going for is, I mean, we all know what Nidhogg is, and, well, my tribe's beliefs, right?
Nope.
The dragon that gnaws at the base of the world tree,
That Nihog.
slowing its growth.
Oh.
He feasts on life itself. And eventually it's said that he'll devour enough to bring forth the eternal night. And that is what the Society of Nidhogg wants.
That's not good.
I mean, it's and have you noticed the sparseness of spirits lately in the city?
A little bit.
Nidhogg is devouring them.
We need to stop that.
Well, I did not initially want to ask for help because it's my fault that he's here. That he was freed. Unintentional as it may have been, and I did not know that I would be doing it when I took Sigurd's spear. Sigurd bound Nidhogg in the first place. And there were terms set and how Sigurd would be free. Or Nidhogg would become freed. Terms that I could not know. It seems that part of it was set up by the Silver Fangs that took the frozen forest from Sigurd, the ones that eventually killed him. But one of the terms was none of Sigurd's descendants could gain rank in any sept in Amsterdam. Well, I gained rank. As did my cousin. But I was the one that took the spear. And what I didn't know was that I could have aimed Nidhogg's wrath upon my enemies. But because I did not know that, I didn't. So now he roams, devouring.
Is he summonable?
Every spirit is able to be summoned.
Is there something we could give him to appease him?
I'm sure he would like a nest. The problem is, a nest for a spirit such as Nidhogg would have to be a place of power.
I have a dangerous and crazy idea.
What?
We could travel to the World Tree in the Umbra and summon him there and rebind him.
Well, I've seen an incarnation of the World Tree here in Amsterdam. But on Beltane, it was burned.
That damn holiday. I swear. Nothing but troubles.
Yeah, there's all kinds of trouble. I'm gonna use mind speak over to Veronica,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to say specifically. So when I said I gained rank, I meant I gained rank, not just I became a Fostern. Little did I know I was the only guru calling my uncle's place home.
Wait, another Garu?
I am the only one that calls it home. That makes me the alpha.
That puts you in a awkward scenario.
Mm-hmm.
You need other Garu there.
Well, that given what it is, I can't do that.
And your uncle lives there, so you can't really trust too many others to go there. That's the other problem.
Exactly. Sigurd willingly gave him that place. Not accepts him as well.
So the spirit chose to accept him.
Yes,
That is very rare.
it is. Hef probably sees Veronica and Air just staring at each other in what appears to be silence.
He's kind of ignoring it, and you'll see he's scrubbing out the Tupperware he took. And like while you guys are staring at each other in silence, you now have an extra Tupperware on your lap that has more pie in it.
Ooh. And and to Veronica, well, I mean, you know where it is. Bosco knows. Petrus knows. And so does one other guru. And she kind of crinkles her nose for a moment, like cringy crinkles, and says Marcus Steele.
So you're not the only Garu.
No, but I'm the only one that calls it home. None of them reside there. I actually have lodgings and a permanent residence there.
Oh.
Yes. She kind of chuckles, and the chuckle is out loud. And then via the mind speak, she says, yeah, Gunnar built it for me himself.
You're lucky to have family like Gunnar.
Yeah, tell what's his name? Is it Breaks the Dragon? Is that what his name is?
Breaks the dragon, yeah.
Tell Breaks the Dragon that.
Well, Breaks the dragon, I'm pretty sure has a log up his butt.
She laughs out loud at that. And then she says, again, this over the mind speak. Well, spirits talk. Let's see how much they're talking. I suppose we'll find out, right? And she looks at Hef, and she's like, how much of this did you bring?
I have more pieces in there.
I'm not complaining by any means. I just was not expecting more.
Well, I didn't know how many people were going to show up, so I had some for Alvaro and maybe Lucas and Willow. And I brought some extra because someone's eating for 2 still. Side eyes, Veronica. So I brought some extras.
Willow would definitely love this. I think we should send Veronica with some for him.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
I do not mind.
Oh, never mind. Oh.
That being said, I'm still trying to get a moment with Willow. I don't think he is too pleased with me for a variety of reasons. I'm not sure, though. They're understandable at any rate, but I still have things for him.
You told me about you talked to Vidar, who was his family.
Yes. His brother. And she kind of looks at Hef. And she's like, yes, I killed his brother.
I'm sure there were reasons.
There were, but in the end, had it not come down to him or me, and it could have been talked through, I would have talked through it with him. But it wasn't possible. But he actually attacked first.
That was silly.
I don't think he was expecting me to win either. I fought fair. I didn't even activate my weapon. And she motions to a cloak sitting beside the stump. I did use this, though. Veronica would recognize that as the fur cloak that Eric had.
So, I wonder if he's going to see his ancestors' dead bodies lying in a pile of snow.
He may not. I told him that only the spirits got to decide if he made it to his homelands. He thought that I intended to bind him or curse him to stay here. That was not my plan. Whatever the spirits did, they did. Oh, Vidar is a silly man. I mean, she takes another.
Did you guys still want to continue the scene, or?
She takes another long drink of the Jameson, and she's kind of sighs and looks around and then stares deep into the fire, and all I know is that Fenrir did not disown him, so he at least has that. But if he does go to the halls of the ancestors, he'll be quite lonely. Though perhaps he went a different route. What about that toy store? Did you all heard about the fire at the toy store?
I
I
have.
know. We talked about that afterwards.
We did. Well, that damn toy store is reopening.
Then we need to
Really?
go back and take care of it.
Well, we needed to check the Umbra and make sure that the same things that were happening aren't happening again.
Oh, no doubt they're happening again.
We need to find out who's opening the toy store, and
We do. We do.
why cut off the head of Hydra when we can burn the stump so it doesn't grow back?
Apparently burning the building with everyone in it didn't
Well, I mean, there was a lot. You said there was a lot going on in the Umbra, right?
Well, there were Banes
Weren't there
trying
people
to
moving around in the Umbra or something?
No, there were Banes moving around in the Umbra.
Ah.
They were trying to get things out in a hurry. Well, I abruptly took care of it in more ways than one, apparently. Like, it turned into an explosion.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, it happened. Apparently, we didn't get everyone, and now it's opening back up again.
I'll have to go back again.
Yes. That's indeed the plan.
I'll go with you this time, though.
Excellent. I wonder if I'll meet Inspector Gadget again.
Inspector Gadget. What's that?
A detective.
Oh.
Yeah, so I blew up a building and there was a cop in it. Isn't that lovely?
Is he alive?
I don't know. There's been nothing in the papers about a cop dying in an explosion, so I would assume so. I mean, there was news of the explosion itself, but I would assume that if a police officer had died there, we would know, especially by now. It might be all over the news. Besides, he wasn't exactly a human. Don't worry, he doesn't know that I started it.
I'm not worried. I feel I have complete and utter faith in your capabilities.
It blows my mind. I started that in the Umbra and Wada Buddha Bing.
Well, if I recall, you told me who you used to start it, so I'm pretty certain that guy's uber powerful.
Yeah. Air looks at Veronica. Let's just say that you remember Surtur?
I do.
Yeah. I owe him something. Now.
You picked him to owe something to?
It was a very abrupt decision that needed to be made. I saw so many Banes, and I was the only one able to step sideways there by myself, and I knew I couldn't fight them all on my own.
That's why I promised to go with you.
So I took care of them one of the few ways that I could get them all at once. Plus, fire in itself can be cleansing, right?
It can be.
I mean, some of it is tragic, but in the end, like you said, it was a sacrifice and a choice that I had to make. Unfortunately, it cost people their lives. Um, Has anyone checked out these apothecaries and such that are opening in the city too?
I
have not.
There's been a lot going on all of a sudden.
I wonder if they offer classes on herbs. I feel like that could be handy for healing and such. I mean, I know we as Guru have our own ways of healing.
I can do that now.
Oh,
I learned that gift.
good.
The
Good.
spirits that I could use it.
That is that gift is useful.
Still have the thing Abby gave me.
Yeah.
That lets me use that gift.
I know the gift itself, and I know how to make my own version of Gaia's breath talons.
I still need to get used to dealing with spirits.
That's what we're here for too.
Yep. That's one way.
He bats his eyes at Veronica. It's literally why I exist, my dear, to help you with that. Big cheesy grin. You may have noticed he may occasionally have grabbed the bottle of Jameson and taken drinks while you were just mind talking.
Perhaps he would would like to come with us when we eventually continue the tattoo investigation.
That would be a good idea.
Tattoo investigation.
Granted, it was given to us at the old sept, but it's not like the Alpha gave us the job.
So Black Furies, which I do respect them.
There are people getting tattoos of Guru glyphs.
And they don't realize it.
Oh.
And they don't realize it. Now, the tattoo artist we spoke to had said that she'd found some actually carved into things here of all places.
As
Once
well
the
as,
sept fell and during her travels and from other places.
and what's worse is there's a spirit kind of guiding her to do this too.
Sort of. He was killed
Huh.
by Guru, though.
Oh, like
Think-
a dead person
And
spirit.
he described black spiral dancers.
Oh,
Now, here's something interesting. Have we encountered any black spiral dancers?
We have not.
No.
I have none.
The last,
But hives are hidden, aren't they?
well, generally, but with the corruption, the re-corruption of the riddling waters, I wouldn't be surprised if they have some hold up there. Especially with the Sept Alpha being corrupt, which we found out when it was being taken over.
We're going to need to do something about all this, aren't we?
Well, that's the plan, but we still need to have a stronghold and a place to retreat to because this place is not protected at all.
Right. We need to have that meeting then. Like Hef is like super serious at the moment. Like you can
Mhm.
tell he's thinking.
And yeah, though actually come to think of it, Miranda mentioned something to me the last time I spoke with her. She showed me a magazine cover of a gentleman that she had met at a party, and he had a few others with him, and she said that they were Guru. Or, well, she didn't say Guru, but she said they were wolves.
Hmm.
And she showed me a picture of one. He's apparently a model. He's on a magazine cover. I've never seen him.
Huh.
She said his name was Randall.
I don't trust that name. Every Randall I know is a douche.
Well, she seemed to think he wasn't like me, she's put it. I'm not sure what she meant by that, but I presume she just didn't like his attitude, maybe.
Possibly. Ugh.
But I've never seen the man. So
Hef gives a big stretch and a yawn. You can hear like bones cracking.
Are you tired, friend?
I am tired, friend. We only got a couple days till this meeting, though. I'm excited about that.
Right. I'm sure Veronica here is exhausted too.
Veronica, will you take these last two pieces of pie and get? Well, hold on. Oh, I have three. Will you give this last three pieces of pie, one for you, and then one for Willow, and one for Lucas,
I can do that.
or three for you if you feel like it? I don't care. I won't say nothing. He winks at her. Just bring the Tupperware by the house sometime. It's not a big deal.
Mm. Yes, and remind Willow that I have gifts for him.
Well,
I will.
you amazing people, I'm going to head out. So it was awesome to see you. Thank you for all the super information. And yes, I will go with you to any of those things that you would like to invite me to. I'm going to
Excellent.
be once I get everything set up. I'm going to work on making a bow and arrow so I can be a little more useful since my leg is still bummy. But
Are you
arrange to
familiar
come
with
back.
using them?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I have a good teacher myself.
I spend lots of time practicing.
I'm still slowly getting to learn, but Sean knows what he's doing.
Sean's normally do that. Yeah, I went there. All right, he's going to get up and pack up his stuff, and then he is going to wave and head out. You all have an awesome evening. I have to go.
Okay, and Air kind of looks at Veronica and she says, I'm headed home myself. Whether that be my cabin or to go harass Tumo, I'm not sure. She starts to put out the fire.
I'm going to go home as well.
I can walk you there before I go.
Thank you.
All right. Well, hopefully, as Veronica and her are walking, and Veronica is likely waddling along, hopefully that baby doesn't make you wait any longer. You're a couple days past due date, aren't you?
Mhm.
Anytime now. Anytime now. All right, Veronica. Enjoy your night and your cheesecake. And she'll give Veronica a nod
Yep.
before she heads off her own direction. All right, and we will call it there. Thank you, players, for playing.